All right, it is time as we begin our Issylra session tonight. Last where we left off from the end of an interrogation over some stragglers that were picked up upon a trail. They were headed north as our heroes were headed south. And after an attack, suspicion raised upon the newcomers, and though they have not said that they were a part of it, the lack of very clear denials while under the truth spell has left our tribe to have some suspicions of dark intentions. Of course, within the woods are almost humanoid-esque lupine figures, red hair, that seem to have been doing an attack, but were foiled, as it seems, though not through violence, but just through our heroes sighting them and rerouting. And they themselves had retreated. So, with the suspicion that we will begin our story. So, all around in the insanity here of this tent, deciding exactly what to do, whether we're going to eat some brains or other stuff. What would you all like to do?
The flaming cat looks around, looking for the weird red-furred creatures. Trying to understand if they're nearby or close, or if they're just listening to our conversations.
Give me a perception check.
You got it. Boop boop. Survey says that's an 11, sadly.
Okay. Yeah, looking at the woods, you just see the quiet and the peace that is there. You don't see any figures in the dark.
The flaming kitty looks a little bit apprehensive or nervous. That's about it.
All right. What next?
My concern is with protecting the villagers, and I think it is evident that these folks are a security risk. At the very least, we must prevent them from knowing anything that would harm us, if not eliminate or ban them. I don't see what's to be gained from any kind of soft-heartedness. We're just exposing ourselves to danger.
Vermutter hears in his mind from the strange flaming cat. You're probably right.
I'm certainly willing to do what needs to be done if the issue is our resolve, but I don't want to act precipitously. I know that Nala has tender feelings towards these people.
No, I just said we shouldn't murder them. I was the one who said we should send them on their way. You were all talking about killing them.
If we kill them, then our friend can eat their brains and learn more of the threat we face, which seems wise, but if you view it as too cold-blooded, I certainly understand that. I don't think that's an unreasonable position.
Well, when we accepted them in here, they became a part of this tribe. So if you're truly sincere that your first priority is looking after our tribe, we send them on their way.
I don't agree with you that they've become part of our tribe, but I am comfortable with your conclusion. I'm not determined to see bloodshed. They tried to kill our people, but they did not succeed. So I am satisfied with banishment. What do the rest of you think?
You hear in your head, seems humane.
Torhilda, do you have any thoughts on this matter?
I don't know. I'm going to see what Spawn thinks. And I take out the rune stones. I shake them up, toss them on the ground, and cast augury. Spawn.
Yes.
Must we kill them for our safety?
Their death is the only way to prevent further atrocity. For certain.
Oh, bother. Right. Svan says it's the only way to prevent further atrocity? Monstrosity? Atrocity?
Atrocity.
Atrocity. Svan says it's the only way to prevent further atrocity.
Killing them is the only way, you mean?
Yes.
I agree that we are taking a risk if we choose to spare their lives. But perhaps that is a risk worth taking so that we remain comfortable with who we've become.
I would be more comfortable with sending them on their way if they would be forthright with us.
It is also possible they do not realize what they are.
I started believing that to be the case, but as they continued to willfully attempt to deceive us as we interrogated them, I lost faith in that explanation.
Question for the DM. By telepathic, I have detect thoughts as ability as well as detect thoughts as a spell. Can I use detect thoughts as ability when in flaming cat form?
Yes.
Okay. Just well, shit. This is easier than I thought. Oops. Could have been sooner. Let's do detect thoughts as ability in cat form. It's one action concentration up to a minute. Certain creatures, so I can actually just sort of float between them and find out what they're actually thinking. I'm just gonna like pluck thoughts out of their head for a moment, literally a minute. Like, are they panicked? They're freaking out. What are they thinking about? Like, what are the things in their motivations?
Okay. Yeah, just kind of passively picking it up a little bit.
Right. With full spell effect, like just see what they're thinking. Surface thoughts only.
Yeah, I would say as you get in, you can hear in their head this growl. Like when they're asked a question, it's just this.
Like anger or like noise?
It's like a noise that you don't think is coming from them, but it's in their mind.
As an influence of somewhere else? Like something else is causing them to feel like fuzzy in their heads?
Yeah. Something along those lines where and they themselves like it's their thoughts are almost like we should tell them what is going on. They were kind, and then there's a growl and they go, no. They cannot know. They are to be eaten, they are to be eaten.
Where do the outside thoughts come from? Is there like a tone or a voice to them? Some reason why they are this hostile?
It's almost a sense that growl and there's some like different tones to it that in its gutturalness it might be conveying a type of language.
Does it seem familiar to any language I have previously heard? Again, like I've spent a lot of time in the woods with the various animals, common, Druidic, Elvish, Sylvan, lots of exposure.
I mean, it definitely has some similar to like a wolfish sound, but
Okay.
it's different.
So
There's more intonations and more variation.
So they come across as more pawn than actor, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And then is there directionality to that voice in their heads, or just like they keep hearing the growl and the intonation?
Yeah, like from where it might be coming from.
Yeah.
Is what you're asking.
Mm.
No, there's not really a sense of that. Like it just seems like it's present, and I would say with this way, you're able to get a sense that whatever is putting the growl there likely is able to get all the thoughts, sights, and sounds that they are able to see as well.
Right.
Seems like an open communication.
Does it seem like it has to be close? Like certain spells are Arcana. Again, I've got Arcana.
Yeah, give me an
certain-
Arcana check if you want to kind of get deeper here.
Yeah, that'd be great. Boop boop. Oh yeah, 24.
Ooh. This particular connection is extremely powerful.
So
it is a sense that it could be as long as they would be on the same plane of existence.
so it's not about distance at all.
No.
Does it feel like, again, Arcana? I'm pushing the limits of Arcana check. Does it feel like a greater power or some kind of like magical being, or is this something local?
I don't know if you can totally tell. I think with the 24, it's almost like the type of control and power one might have over something one made.
Okay. All right. One at a time, telepathically, Brynja the Flaming Kitty will put the thought in the head of every one of the party around her that this is not their power. They're being manipulated. There's definitely a greater plane, a different effect happening here. They don't recall or don't know why they're doing what they're doing. They're pawns in a game. They are not the game. The game is powerful.
Can I respond to you telepathically?
Let me check. Don't think so, but let me double check that one detail. Vector to casting, detect odds. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
You can also just say it out loud because I will definitely hear you.
Yeah, this is something I don't want to say out loud.
Hang on.
I will try to get to a place where I can whisper to you.
So, communication doesn't give the creature the ability to respond to your telepathically. So, no, the answer is no.
Yeah, understood. So I'm going to get where I can whisper to
Mhm.
you and say, could we possibly use them and make them believe something false to our benefit?
You hear in your head, probably. And then shits and giggles, insight check. Did their ears perk up?
From the whisper there.
Mm-hmm.
You have the tech thought still up. You can tell they heard it.
Got it. In your head, they heard that.
So I think we must either restrain them somewhere where they cannot effectively spy on us, or ensure that they are moved at some distance from us. I don't particularly care which.
Nala hears in her head, what's the humane thing to do? Leave them here to die or tie them up or something?
Why are you asking me that question?
You're our conscience.
No, I am not. But I would be willing to talk to them.
Well, they know that we know, so I don't have any problem with being honest with them. Explain to them that we know they are betraying us to these enemies, and ask them what would they have us do that would protect that would spare their lives and not endanger us. Perhaps they can come up with a solution. They should be motivated, otherwise my solution is plain.
Which of the two people do I feel as, because I've spent more time with them.
Right.
Which of the two people do I just get a sense that would be more willing to talk to me?
I mean, I don't know. I guess you can go from the reactions that you've seen.
I don't remember all of them.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but-
because like I said, I can't say like how a character feels about a person.
No, I think I was just thinking, like, because they were sharing a tent, and I was just kind of trying to get a read on all that. But not knowing that, I will go to. I'll go to the swordswoman,
Okay.
and I'll just sit down. Because we're all still under the effects of the Tell Truth spell, right?
That is left.
Oh, that's gone. Okay.
Yeah. I think we made it almost half an hour as it was.
You know from what I said earlier that I was being truthful with you. My hope is for you to find a means of life away from here. However, I am not entirely certain if this is something you are capable of, not because of desire, but because other things seem to be with you. The others here are not going to give you as much leeway. So I would suggest you speak to me. Are you able to speak to me?
Yes, I can speak to you.
What do you hope? What is your desired result from this encounter?
We wanted to. We were excited to join your clan, but if it seems that it's gone, so we would be on our way.
Where would you go?
Where we were headed. To other cities to see if we could find some rest somewhere else.
She'll try an insight, but it's real bad. Oh yeah, it's real bad. It's a 5. Okay. You understand if you were to leave, and if there was a detour in your path, I would be incapable of speaking for you.
We won't follow you. We'll let you go on your way.
I know that. What I'm saying is, if you are going somewhere other than a city, I need to know.
And we're looking for the next village where we might get safety and be elsewhere.
Inside.
Alright. Insight check.
21. Do they believe that?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say from what they're as they're staring in their eyes, it seems they're telling their truth.
In Nulla's head, she hears, they believe that.
Okay. Well then, we should all speak openly. There is no easy decision here, regardless of personal feeling on either side. We have to choose. And whatever we choose, we must be consistent. My own feeling on this whole matter remains fairly the same, and that is that if there is a chance, any chance, that they are telling a truth, if there is any chance that they can overcome whatever it is that ails them, then that is something I hope to put faith in. Because if I can't put faith in that, then I am not certain what to put faith in. But that is my vote.
I mean, surely they understand that at best they are being controlled by these creatures. I don't believe that they are unaware of this control, and their refusal to acknowledge it is troubling to me. They act as if there is no concern that they will continue to spy on us or lead them here. I don't feel like they're meeting us halfway at all.
Anyone else want to speak to it? And I would suggest to this person, who do y'all want to have the stick in this situation to kind of make the decision?
I do not wish to lead. That is not my nature. I am unwilling to accept them to remain here. If they could be freed of this connection, I would be happy to welcome them, but they're not offering, they are not clearly able, so I think they must go. I would nominate Brynja as the wisest of us to make the decision.
The cat shakes its mane, rolls its eyes up at the sky, and then suddenly the massive flaming cat drops form into a small, pictish-looking woman, looks over and says, "Really? I must be the one, really. Okay, fine. As you wish. It was fundamentally your choice. I could have been useful, but we chose otherwise, so this is fine. All right, you two, look at me. This is we will say temporary banishment. You are connected to forces we cannot understand or control, and they are dangerous to us. So the natural choice is we will outcast you, whatever you say in your language. We will cast you out temporarily. To Burmunder's point, if you are free of this at some point, we may take you back, but I will definitely examine your minds and find out whether or not you are actually free of it. In the meantime, I would gladly give you some of our rations to go on your way, on the assumption that the red wolfy thingies will not probably eat you. We don't know. But if we see you again with the red wolfy thingies, we will definitely kill you, and with prejudice. Is that understood?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for your generosity.
This is not generosity. This is just practical, cruel, natural truth, right? At the end of the day, we must live and survive together, or we must die. And it's the way the breaks are, right? So you go on your way, we go on our way. We all do fine, maybe, or some of us die. We'll see. But this is your chance to restart after this what is the word? Facade, facade, whatever the word with this deceit in it. Yes. So my preference would be, we don't see you again until your souls are clean, and I will check. And when it happens, maybe welcome you back. But today, you take a walk with some rations.
They nod.
Do not loiter near our camp.
Go ahead north.
Bormunder, does that meet your expectation? Yes.
I am satisfied.
No, is that inhumane or unkind?
Actually, that was exactly what I asked for. So
Then we are settled. Then we will move from here and watch out for the red wolves, which are apparently quite smart and clever and fast.
All right. And you are able to get them set up with rations and such things. They take their cart and begin in the last bit of night here. They will continue north.
you should send a scout.
Yes, we clearly must monitor them.
Let us know if they detour off their route.
I arranged with, I've been liaising with our security troops, and I appoint a senior scout to follow them at a discreet distance, and to actually send 2 scouts, and to have one come back should they vary their path.
Absolutely.
And once they're out of earshot, I have a question for the group. Our initial plan earlier in the day was to hunt and destroy these red creatures as being too dangerous to allow to exist near our camp. But when we did so, they were lured back to here. I don't know if that's still our plan. I feel like when we tested ourselves against them previously, I was not confident that we would be able to handle them, but I guess I want to see what your sense is, if any of us still feel that we should try to dispatch them.
We absolutely should, but I'm not sure how to hunt them with how fast they are.
We know their lair, right? We did trace them to that cave. And we were intending to ambush them, but that failed because we had spies that were reporting our movements. But perhaps now that we've taken that away from them, we have a chance to surprise them.
That's just it. What if they weren't the spies?
Nala, surely you cannot doubt that they were at this point. They have all but admitted it to us.
What I'm saying is, what if there's someone else?
I suppose it's possible, but we have these people who joined us at this time. It would be surprising if one that was part of our troop all this time was somehow allied with these distant strangers, but I suppose it is not impossible.
Let's say that they were. Let's say that they were these wolves. Well, we didn't have eyes on them all the time they were with us.
I don't think they are the wolves. I think they are tools of the wolves. But now we have taken that tool away from them.
Either way,
Our choice is to either go to their cave to try to stop them, or to move on and wait until some subsequent time when either they choose to attack us or we come back and try to solve this problem later.
Oh no, I'm totally in favor of going to the cave. I'm just mentioning that we have to be very careful because they outsmarted us last time.
I agree with that. I have a long history of being outsmarted, so I am not surprised to contemplate that it might happen again.
So you're arguing for this idea that we go track down trouble ourselves. No rest, just go.
What do you think the wolves will think we will do based on what they know from their spies?
They are well rested. They should attack.
Yes, they did attack us once at night.
Yeah,
nothing
just
to
the little
release.
wolves, not the big red ones. No, those are more formidable, perhaps.
Well, I do agree that we cannot lead them to our new camp. So if we're sleeping here, we just need to keep our eyes open. It might help to have the advantage of this place, but on the other hand, well, I guess neither side is exactly 100% wonderful, so we just have to choose one.
You don't need to be moral about it. We survive or we don't survive. We die or we don't die. It's not a difficult choice.
I don't think that a group of our size with this many civilians will have a prayer of concealing our location from these wolves. I believe we leave a path that a blind man could follow, much less a skilled wolf who knows the terrain. And so whether we move or don't move, if they are coming for us, they will find us. If we like, we can take ourselves and try to intercept them and ambush them as they come to the camp, if we're confident they will come to the camp. I think our choice is to wait for them to attack, set up an ambush, or go to them. I think one of those is likely to happen no matter what we do.
Yes, that's what I was saying. We need to choose one.
I'm a simple man. I'm always in favor of taking the battle to the enemy, but I don't claim to have
Thank you very much.
shrewd analysis of the problem, so I would defer to anyone who has a better judgment. But if it was me, I would take our weapons and go to the cave and try to root them out once and for all, tired or not.
I would be cautious with that, because last time when we went to chase them down, they looked to circumvent us and attack the camp while we left it undefended.
And they had people who communicated our every move to them. We know this.
But it is also possible they have somebody waiting, outside of our camp.
So would you prefer to try to ambush them here at our camp, or to just wait for the inevitable?
I think our best bet would be to defend our camp and leave.
Can you explain that to me? I don't understand.
We are very far from where we will be settling still. It would be a long journey for them to continue to attack us.
So you say that you would vote to just leave and hope that they do not follow us or attack us on their way?
Yes. I don't think... I think that if we were to attack, it would be best to do it in the daytime when everybody can more easily see. I have no problem seeing, but I'm the only one that has zero difficulty seeing at night.
And to clarify, what time of day is it now, DM?
You are basically coming quickly towards sunrise.
So, if we are to attack, I think we do it in a few hours after the sun has risen. And it will be easier for everybody to see, and less likely we will be ambushed on our way to the cave, and same with the camp being attacked while we were away at the cave. Because they were not trying to kill our people.
Why do you say that?
They carried them off.
To convert them to more of their minions, presumably.
Yes. Which is what I would be afraid of happening again.
I would consider that dead. But I understand, yes. They wouldn't kill us, they would turn us to their servants. Just as bad. And so your hope is that at dawn we could just pack up and go and not encounter them? Is that what you would prefer?
I believe them to see us as infringing on their territory. If they continue to chase us, say tomorrow morning, we still detect them as an active threat, then we can discuss it then. But though they are more intelligent than most beasts, I believe that them, along with the other villages in the area and settlements in the area, they didn't want us to settle near them, and I feel that we have just encroached on their territory, so to speak. I do not believe it is we're in a kill them or they will kill us situation.
Sounds like then what we should do, pack up our things, start on the road, keep an eye out. If we attack them, we leave our tribe open for attack. If we stay here, they know this area better than us. If we move, if they're attacking us, we take a risk, but it sounds like a risk worth taking if there is truth in the theory about it being territorial.
Open question. How far from here did we encounter our new 2 travelers? A day, half a day, 2 days?
Sorry, say that again.
How long ago did we encounter our new travelers? The 2 cousin impersonators. Was that like recently? A long time ago? Like what was?
Yeah, this is day 1 of your travel, so this was from the conversation. So this was earlier today.
So this is the same day. I guess my question is more, if the travelers were in the range of this cave, it'd be less than a day's travel, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that also lends theory. For instance, if they came down here to tell us, or to tell their friends of our location, then it sounds more like this was a plan they would have in this area anyway, and they now no longer have that. So if they no longer have that, it makes the most sense to keep moving.
So you're presuming the optimism that this was a simple trap, and we just sprung the trap, and now magically they will leave us alone if we just leave the trap area.
No. What I'm saying is, if there's any truth in the theory that the two of them were the ones who were setting us up for attack, well, they no longer have that. And if we stay here, they know where we are. If we attack them, we open ourselves up for them sneaking past us and attacking our tribe. If we move, it sounds like the best of both worlds for us, where we're still together, and we're also outside of the range of their knowledge of where we are. So they would have to actively track us, and therefore we would have to keep our eyes open for that attack.
If they are egotistical like humans, they will want a revenge and will follow us.
But we don't know what they are,
We know they are clever.
and that's all.
Hmm.
We don't know their motivation, if it's just to eat, if it's territorial. I think it's probably to eat, but if we're really just moving on and shown that we're willing to fight, they'd have to fight outside of the area they're most familiar with attacking people.
Bormunda
Fight
raises
outside
a
that cave.
good point about this idea. They didn't eat the villagers, they stole the villagers. That
Yes.
is more than just hungry. Hungry things eat.
And then we meet them on the road and we fight them.
Mm.
That's a long way for them to track us if they're hungry.
Lila, what do your instincts tell you?
I believe I've already voiced what I believe we should do, and that is pack up and continue moving, but be ever vigilant towards them.
So as a reminder to get up today, you're going to be possibly getting into some exhaustion and stuff for your people and yourselves.
Or perhaps we could finish, maybe leave more closer to lunchtime and just finish what we're try to finish up the long rest
At
thing.
this point, the long rest has been halted, so you'd have to do the full 8.
Oh, okay.
So it's eight of downtime to get back, basically a short rest and not have exhaustion, correct?
Yeah.
And then if we travel, how long can we make it before we add the next level of exhaustion? 24?
So a good amount. Yeah, you could actually get probably a good amount in here.
So we
Probably
could arguably,
you could probably go another like 8 hours without having to roll with the exhaustion. We go more than, well, not 8 hours, I guess. You could probably do a good 4 before I require the roll. If you go right now.
so yeah, if we left now, maybe 4 hours before we roll for exhaustion, and then be 4 hours further away and maybe have a chance to rest. We'll see.
Didn't the people who had the half long rest already rest?
We got deep into if you had 4 hours, you could have gotten your rest. That would have staved off of it. Yeah.
Okay.
If those of you only need 4 hours. But that's not. I guess it's not everybody. It's not all your people either.
I know. I was just thinking ahead of like making sure there was someone to keep watch.
So among choices, we can rest now, or we can make 4 hours of hoofing it and then the rest and hope we are further from the red wolves. Do we have thoughts?
Those of you who need to rest, I'll defer to you, but I am worried because us staying here seems pretty dangerous. Still, I'll defer to you.
Brunhilde, does your sister have any prophecy for us today?
I can ask her.
Don't stress yourself. If she is tired, it's fine.
I'll take out the runes and ask again. Svan, should we stay or should we go? Donna, 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 Donna.
So it is the least danger to move quickly.
Swan boats go, but I don't know what she knows, if anything. Swan boats go. Like Layla, I don't require as much rest, so I'll defer to what anybody else needs.
Real quick above table, I still need the full 8 hours. I just don't have to sleep during them.
Yeah, I think it's just Nala and Torhilda that have the 4 hours.
Yeah, you guys have a different thing than
Oh.
I do.
Okay. Yeah, I have the whatever the thing was on offer
Yeah,
from the back.
yeah, you guys have the thing where it halves your rest times. I just don't have to actively sleep. I still can't be doing like active things or nothing, but I can like keep watch. I can.
So
take
that's 3 of us that can watch. Yeah. Yeah, but Swan boats go.
I think staying here is the least desirable of the choices. They know this spot. They could attack us at their leisure whenever they wanted. And if the theory is right that they don't like having us near here, then we're taunting them in that way too. So I think we should be choosing between taking the fight to them or moving on. I still think it likely that we will get attacked if we move on, but at least perhaps we can set ourselves up a little better.
There is a concept amongst at least the animals, not the human animal hybrids, but animals themselves of range, right? So you have a local territory and you don't go much beyond it because you encounter others like you that are also adversarial. I would say bitches, but adversarial. So it sounds like the best option may be for us to pick up and leave from now. Do 4 hours or so on the road, get some distance and see what happens. We will not be more rested, we will be less ready for the next fight. But separating ourselves from this place may be most helpful. Thought?
I think that makes sense. Svan rarely steers me wrong.
You said previously Svan makes lots of mistakes, so...
Well, 1 or 2.
No, I will take your word, yes. Anyone opposed to leaving now? Or trying to mobilize the groups is the wrong word, the camps now? No, so we're moving, yes.
Sounds about right.
I think that is the best of a bad set of choices.
So then you begin to get the camp going here. Let's see here. Who would like to kind of lead the effort to get everybody going back?
I'll do it.
The camp up and moving.
I'll do it.
All right, give me a survival check.
Oh shit. Not in that case. 24.
In just about 20 minutes, everyone quickly moves. No complaints really. They know this is dangerous territory. They pack up. The tribe is always in a nice state of sort of ready to pick up and go as some fires are put out, but all the tents are good and you're able to continue moving through the wilderness here.
I also like to explain as we go, like in her weird fucking Slavic brogue, that it's not that we're, I'm just saying, it's not that we're necessarily running from danger. It's more that there are better ways ahead, and we would like to separate ourselves from certain close living animals that may be trying to harm us. So the faster we get on the road and the better we pace ourselves, the more often we can probably distance ourselves and then find our promised land in the future. But for right now, speed is of essence. So please, carry your children, put them on carts. Let's make haste for now.
Mhm. Excellent. And very good. And incidentally, this is just you guys are just south of the Ithilden forest. Brenya.
Excellent. Let me find that map.
And you're headed away from it, but hey, Jalen.
Hello.
All right.
Alas, we have no brains for you to eat. We sent them on their way.
Oh, you parted ways. Okay.
Somewhat.
Bless you.
All right.
Away from Ithilden. Got it.
Your way.
So,
Oh.
I would organize with the scouts to reinforce our rear guard so that we are alert to the wolves' approach, and put my best hunters who are most familiar with signs and hopefully observant and have a chance to spot them should they track us.
Absolutely. Okay. So you gather your larger group and have the scouts and spotters both behind and in front. The area here is
And
most-
I'll also make sure I'm bringing up the rear, keeping a extra close eye as well.
okay. The area here is almost completely, it seems, stone and rock. The green that is here seems to be like a thick moss or vine of ivy that grows upon the rock, giving it a scattered, very shallow feel of green and gray. It becomes harder here to travel. The path suddenly ends in a higher, like 30 to 40 foot up plateau that needs to be scaled and then traversed and then climbed down later. Some paths lead you through valleys in the next few hours as you just sort of get the pieces of daylight. About 3 hours in, Balmunda, the scout returns to you as so it's Elder, it seems there is a larger hunting camp, but we saw signs of battle and some burning, but no obvious bodies. We didn't approach.
This is a scout from in front of our path,
Yes.
and you would estimate it to be a larger group than our own that had camped there?
Not larger than us, no.
Are you familiar with the campsites of the group that we saw traversing the plains? Did it appear similar to that?
Oh, they didn't see any clan markings.
And the camp seemed abandoned. They had no scouts or guards.
No one.
And no sign of violence that you didn't examine closely.
We didn't get close, but it did say a few buildings did look like they were burnt, so maybe.
Good job. I am pleased that you have identified this. Have you heard anything from the couple that we banished? Have they continued along their path?
One comes now, goes, sir, we keep returns to the ones that were watching the rear. For what we can, it seemed they continue to head possibly toward Yellen.
That as well. I briefed my comrades that we have identified a settlement, and there are some indications of violence. Buildings that have perhaps been burned, so we certainly should be on high alert as we pass through this area. I wonder if we should send a party to examine the camp and see if we can learn more.
That was my thoughts exactly, Bormunder. I think we should all go check it out.
When you say all, you mean all of us and separate from the group, or do you mean to split the party?
I mean, the elders.
Yes, it's still difficult because we have many less experienced fighters who will not. And she looks around like she's going to say this like too loud, like embarrass somebody. They're not all well seasoned, okay?
Is it near the route that we will be taking if we continue to march? Can we just take our leadership group and check it out and leave the scouts to defend the bulk of the party?
I mean, that could be a reasonable course of action.
What do you think, guys? Do you think we need to leave anyone with the villagers, or do you think if we keep the scouts there, that will be sufficient? It doesn't sound like it's a significant detour for us.
If they can't handle themselves for a little while, then I wouldn't see why we would leave them to set up a settlement while we go handle business in the mountains.
Good point, my friend. They will not have us forever.
But also, like, do not cause unnecessary losses. If we can be within stone's throw or a short yell, so much the better.
My scouts have horns that they can blast in the event of a true emergency.
Right, but if we are 2 leagues apart, it will not help. That is my point.
I understand. I believe what I understood from the scouts is that it would not be a vast distance off the trail.
Brenya, looking annoyed, takes her staff and smacks on the ground and instantly transforms it back into, as you've seen at least once before, blah, 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 into the shillelagh and, like, stands on it like she's ready.
I guess having got the information from the scouts on the direction of this abandoned camp, I will lead the group off in that direction.
All right. So, as you progress towards this place, you do come into view of what your scouts reported: thin wisps of smoke, still from what looks like a few burnt hunting lodges. Others are more intact. And you can see, because they did say they could see signs of battle. They didn't see bodies. That there are slashes and even a few broken arrows that seem to be within some of the walls of the outer walls of the lodges. Though you can tell from here the main fire of the area seems cold.
When you say hunting lodges, does this mean temporary dwellings like seasonal hunting lodges or like or permanent establishments?
Seem more temporary.
Okay.
I hesitate to say any words that suggest I'm investigating because I often can't find my shoes in the morning, but I would urge one of you to do such things.
Yeah, I was actually just going to ask, looking around, do we see any signs of a clan crest or anything like that?
I will happily lay my hand on my good friend Azariah's shoulder and say, allow Spawn to help you, and I'll cast guidance.
Nice. Yeah, give me a perception check there, Azariah.
Give me a 2.
Oh, 22.
Me too.
Well, I got that twice.
Very good. Then, as you proceed, you can tell. You look, and there seems to be a place where Clan Banner would have been. A large one in the center. Seems the kind of V wooden stand for it that maybe looks like it was taken off a large tree, has been burnt, and there are ashes around. So whatever it was has been destroyed very purposefully.
Destroyed or desecrated? Like, was there actually intent to follow this place?
Looks more destruction.
Cool.
Now in the center, Azariah, you can see that there are the buzzing of flies and a slight smell coming from some of the lodges, and as well as dried blood covering the outer floor and down. It's Azariah is disconnected.
Timing.
In that case, I would say Torhilda there, as you are kind of guiding, is letting Svanhilda move about. As you all move in about the area where the ashes are, you see something that doesn't quite belong. It's almost hidden with the ashes.
Oh, Azariah, one of these things is not like the others. And I'll point it out. I don't, I've from hanging around with Azariah enough, I guess I've learned not to touch shiny things without somebody say so. I don't know. Well, her intelligence is 5, so I don't know if she's actually learned that. So she'll just root around and pick it up and show him. Look what I found. Just like a 5-year-old, super. She never finds anything. She sucks at looking for stuff. She's like -3. She found something and she grabs it out of the ashes and runs up to Azariah and shows it to him. Look, I found something. Look. And she holds it out in her hand.
Well, that is quite impressive. Let me see what you have.
So it looks like it is the skinned and tanned fur coat of a lynx that is wrapped as if to contain something.
Oh, what's inside?
Well, if you don't mind, let's put it on the ground and I'll use my magic hand to open it. Just in case.
Yeah, that's the smart thing to do.
And this is when she lays it out, I'll use the mage hand to unwrap it and see what's inside.
Okay. So you unwrap, you can see that it is bound and held together with the string that upon the end is a feather of a raven. On the other kind of rope that's made held together is an eagle feather. And clasping it together is what looks like a wolf tooth and a bear claw. As it opens up, you see bronze contraption. It's taken apart. It looks like what could be put together to make a scale. But it is bent.
Interesting. Well, I'll have the mage hand hover over and bring it, and try to examine it any closer. It's anything I realize, but before I guess I move on to that task, to thinking back on those motifs that they're wrapped in: the eagle feather, raven feather, wolf tooth, and bear claw. Are those things that, in like a historical sense, or that I would know about and their significance, especially all together?
You might ask your group.
Does anyone know what this means? And I'll have the mage hand brings over like the whole thing packed, I guess, on top of his hand with the raven. You see this eagle feather, and then there's a raven feather, and they're all clasped tight with this wolf tooth and bear claw.
They are all druid tribes, all of them.
No, I'm not familiar with all the druid tribes.
There are many. There's cave bear and snow wolf and the rock eagle and lynx and raven. There's a bunch of breeds of animals that the tribes named after. It doesn't mean this is necessarily theirs, but it's a bit interesting that the combination is together.
Indeed. Well, they had this wrapped inside it. It looks like something that might be used as a scale.
But scale is peculiar. What metal is it made of? You said copper or brass or something?
Yeah, bronze.
Bronze. It would be uncommon for bronze to be used by druids. It's more of a silver thing typically, but not always. I don't entirely know. It looks bent. How can we could you unbend it? Make it more straight?
I could try, but to be honest, I'm not really that good at mending things.
Okay.
I could try with my jeweler's tools. I'm used to working with
Those would be good tools, yes.
Those might work there. I would agree with you, Torhilda. Why don't you give it a try?
It's nice craftsmanship. Are these all have you studied with all of these tribes, Frinja?
Most but not all. I spent many young years, without talking too much about my past, I have traveled amongst many tribes. I spent more time with some than others, but yes, those 4 Mondigars in particular I have spent time with.
Hmm. So I will try to get my little hammer and my tools and try to straighten it out and make it functional again and fix the
Yeah.
little scale.
Love that. Give me jeweler's tools. So I think this would probably be dexterity with this.
Yeah, not
Okay.
intelligence, please.
Well, yeah, at least that's an even roll, and then I get to add my proficiency to
Correct.
it.
Yep.
Okay, so let me roll that. And then that is a 5 plus 4 is 9.
Woo!
Woohoo!
So it's a 9 on that? Okay.
She leaves a dent.
Yeah, no, I think so this would take some time. I would say after the group rests, we could probably say it was done.
Okay.
All right.
So I'd say
Hold
the 9
on.
represents.
Hold on, I'm almost done. Almost done.
I'm like reading my book next to. Are you done yet? I've
Still
been waiting
working.
here for almost an hour.
You know, this is harder than it looks. You know.
Yeah, so it's gonna take like 6 hours of work on here. Just kind of.
Oh snaps!
I was gonna say it could take a while, but it can be done.
So, but okay, cool. I guess we probably send.
You
word
all
to
wanted to
them
try to get a
that
short
we're
rest
alive.
in, or not a short rest, but a long rest, effectively here.
Okay, cool.
Luckily, I long rest in half the time.
Right.
Right.
Well, yeah, the rest of the kind of would stave off exhaustion here. You all were thinking of that, so it is going to take some time here.
And then, does it bring back recollections of like Druidic tribes on the move? Does it like spark some memories, or is it just like a bunch of interesting animal patterns?
Yeah. So as you look at that this in particular was meant to be able to leave to the highly trained druids,
Got it.
those who were trained such as you, part of the more elite forces, ones that didn't just stay with their tribe, almost one that hopefully that would be noticed. Wouldn't be uncommon for some to leave it behind as a message or some type of thing.
I think someone else. Okay. I go over to Nala, and in my hand I have something wrapped. Nala, I have something for you.
What's that?
I hand it. It feels solid, round, kind of warm. Well, I usually keep them for myself, and I either put them on my necklace or add them to my shield. But I think for the next few hours, it's possible that this might be more useful to you. I spent some time on it before going to sleep.
Really?
And and if you open it, I don't know if you do, but yes, if you just take some time, you'll be able to use it very quickly to create a door that could send you very far. You and another person that's pretty close.
Really?
Really? I thought that you
How-
could use it.
How does it work?
Well, sometimes instead of, I guess, maybe swinging at things a second time or getting really, really angry, you could just focus in on it, and then you would be able to tap into the magical uh, powers that allow you to use the door to teleport.
It's magic?
It is, but I created it myself. It won't harm you.
Okay. I trust you, and she'll hold it in her hand, and she closes her eyes. It looks like she's really concentrating.
Don't use it right now.
What?
Just
Oh,
use it when you need to. It's perfect for, getting close to someone in a battle or chasing someone if you need to, or getting yourself out of a stomach.
no, I just thought maybe you'd like to go somewhere.
Oh, well, we can definitely go somewhere, but I mean, if I were to go anywhere with you, I would like to walk and enjoy the scenery on the way.
Oh,
This is for your protection and to get out of a sticky situation or to get right in someone's face that wants to get away from you.
right. No, that's exactly what I thought it was for. Thank you. It's wonderful.
I appreciate your appreciation. And if you open it, it's just like a little rune that you see. It's closed like a mint green. Has a symbol on it, and it is also connected to a necklace, so you can just wear it as well.
I will treasure it forever.
Well, yeah, maybe if you keep it, I could imbue it with magic another time, depending on the situation.
Oh yes, of course. And she puts it on. I didn't know we were exchanging gifts.
Oh no, I don't expect anything from you. I think your presence here is much a gift.
Oh, that's really nice of you. Why don't you take this? And she'll hand you one of the rings that she took from the Mimic Hill.
Oh, thanks.
It's worth like a gold.
It's really pretty. I'll put it on one of my fingers here, and I go and I put on and try it on my fingers, and it like settles on like my right ring finger, which is kind of skinny along with that pinky, but most of my fingers are quite fat. So
Yeah, I could turn it into a necklace.
I think I would like it right here. I can't really admire it if it's on my neck.
That's a good point. Well, thank you, Azariah. I appreciate it.
That's no problem. I thought that it would be useful to you.
If I put it in my bag, it's not going to harm me, is it?
No, it won't harm you.
Okay. And she very apprehensively, very carefully wraps it up and places it in the bag.
But there you go. I guess we're going to be off soon.
Yes, we are. Well, I guess. Okay then. And she just walks away awkwardly.
See you later, Nala. And he'll go over to probably where Bormunder and Torhild is. You think she'll know how to use that? I think I explained it right.
I don't think she can hurt herself with it.
Well, that's for sure. Well, I guess unless she did what I did and send her and I 500 feet on top of a bird.
At least it'll be entertaining.
Yeah, I lost my calling as a clown and jester.
Like all former soldiers, I'm well attuned to a moment where I can rest in peace, and I'm sort of already half dozed into my short rest.
Well, enjoy it, and go over and wait until we depart. As I, had finished that job, and we rest and are
Yeah.
reading a book.
Anything else as the rest continues?
No, just Nala's place with the necklace all night.
Nice. Anything for Layla?
Nope.
All right. Then, as you presume the camp is taking its time to take a rest from the day, you all take yours here. And towards the end of the time, Torhilda, you are able to straighten this and the scale. And as you begin to hook it up, the chains and the pans correctly, it's almost like a weight mechanism from the pans being attached that opens up in the base as to small, what looks like almost copper weights or a set of copper weights can be found within the base.
Oh, look at this. Now, does it look like? What does it look like? What are the weights? What, they be like small weights, big weights?
There's a combination, and as you look at them, it doesn't take much for your jeweler's eye to understand that the copper seems to be an outer coating. Over maybe another metal or something similar. In your hand, they have a weight to them, though they are not marked in any way.
The weights aren't marked. I'll like scratch one a little bit, and I assume I'm going to assuming I'm going to find like lead or a denser metal in there, like a weight would be made out of. But I'm going to scratch it a little bit and look.
Yeah, taking your tools, trying to get into there. And you come to iron. And you can see as you scratch that there's a mechanism that allows for a small compartment in each one to open up. And within the one that you're working on here, you see this. It's kind of this darker purple flesh piece that has been placed within. It's foul. The odor is not pleasant, and it is long grown soft.
Oh, do I recognize it?
Yeah, give me survival check.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm going to call Issylra over. Because I got an 8 for a 7. Issylra, is Issylra awake?
Yes, I try to be up and at them as quickly as I can.
Look what I've discovered.
Oh, that is looks like a secret indeed.
Issylra, as you come over, it when you gaze upon it, you see this firm piece of flesh that has this actual fragrant, pleasant smell to it.
Oh. Interesting.
What I saw
What,
was
like-
something different.
Mhm.
Oh. Azariah, what's this stinky stuff in here? It looks like rotted flesh.
Oh, rotted. It smells delicious.
You have
Yeah.
strange tastes.
I guess you're right. And I'll like am I like does it look like it dechatters, right? Like you can pick this up?
Yeah, you could take it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll use the mage hand to bring it closer, and it smells like elderberries and lilacs. I don't know what you mean. And
That's not what it smells like. And I'll use, I guess, prestidigitation to duplicate the smell. Here's what it smells like.
that's not what I'm getting. I'm getting a little bit of this, and I do the same. But no,
Oh my God. What in the world is going on? I start looking around like somebody's playing a trick.
Yeah. As you look around, you were kind of deep in concentration. There's a sense that that you realize that you and Azariah are here. The others are resting. And Hilda is not present. Sorry, Svanhilda.
Svanhilda's not here.
So-
Svan, where'd you go? No, she's always disappearing. She's so unreliable.
Oh, you
Maybe-
look around. It's not there.
Maybe she went to go find more things in the ashes.
Where is everybody else around?
I've been awake the whole time.
Yes, everyone's around.
But Svan's not here. And this smells weird. So who's awake?
I am, and I smell something super sweet and super foul at the same time.
The presentation.
Well, that's here.
Here,
Smell my
smell-
mage finger.
Smell this.
Move my
Yeah.
mage hand over. And I'll
Is
smell.
this milk rotten? Take a smell this.
What does it smell like?
For your character, it would smell sweet. It would smell same as Azariah.
So weird. Bormunder, wake up. Smell this.
Oh, what?
I just hold it under his nose.
What do I smell?
Seems to be. I think with Barmunder, it just you're like it doesn't have a distinct scent for you.
It smells a bit like a rock.
Smells like nature. It's pretty neat. Hold on. Let me see if I can do.
Let's try. Let's wake everybody up and have them smell this. Layla, smell this.
Now, canonically, nobody gets a rest.
You all got your what is effectively a short rest.
Did I get a short rest too, or no?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you didn't make me work through the whole thing.
Rest.
Okay. Yay!
Oh, well, I think I honestly don't have the ability to take it and examine what kind of magic could be used in this, but I'll try to look at it in an arcane, studying a way to see if it could be used in a ritual or something like that. But he doesn't have the capabilities to like detect what kind of magic it is or anything right now.
Yeah, you take some time with it. And so everyone else, she is showing it around, as she said. So, Layla, there's a little bit of I think a pause. For you have not seen flesh like this, or this kind of, you could tell even from this bit of biology, in a very long time.
So I have. It's just been a really long time since I have. Or
Yeah, back before you came to the plane.
oh, can I try to remember exactly what it was?
Give me depending on what are you trying to use to remember it? I guess what are you trying to pull off of?
Just kind of inspecting it. So I guess I'm trying to do nature. Figure out what type of creature this came from.
I would give nature for you because of
Okay.
what nature is to your character. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense to me.
Oh, that's terrible. It was a natural 1.
Oh,
Total of 7.
yeah,
Actually, I have
it is
is it too late to
clearly.
use-
Sorry, go ahead.
Is it too late to use an inspiration?
Nah, it's not too late.
Okay. I'll grab one of the 2 inspirations. Okay, there we go. 18.
Okay.
I'll grab one of the 2 inspirations from chat.
Yeah. It's clearly aberrative. Mutations from the astral sea and such things. With your I think so. As you're very much looking at it, you recall that you would see it like served as creatures like it brought back a hunt and like served up as a delicacy at times. And it deals with, from your perspective, then that strange energies, such things that would be like that are very real where you're from, yet concepts here.
I'll mostly just kind of relay that this to everybody, that this is from a being that should not be here. This is not, does not belong.
Well, that makes it quite interesting and out of place, surely. Do you know why this thing would have been in a way, in a device, a scale like this? Especially since it was used for druids.
Shouldn't we be concerned about Svanhilda not being here?
Well, I don't know, to be honest. I'm not really tied to her like that, so I don't completely understand the nature of Swan.
Has she ever disappeared before?
I look over to Torhilda.
Well, she comes and goes, and sometimes she talks to me, and sometimes she doesn't. Sometimes we're not speaking, but she's always there when I have need and ask. And so I will ask her in the formal way, and I will spend a bonus action to manifest echo and see if she appears.
You reach out. It's almost like cutting through like a very, very thick tree with your axe. You're like pushing, and it's a struggle. And with a great amount of effort, you sort of see her, but she's faded. Trying to get in contact, but like unable to fully be here.
Oh no, Svan. There's something wrong.
As you kind of address, you start to feel, and she's like has these grunts of pain as she's straining.
Put that weight away. Pack it back up. Bury it in the ground.
What?
I don't know. It's causing her trouble. Something's causing her trouble, and that's the only thing I can think of.
That's alright. Put it away.
I'll put like the weights back in like the little secret thing, and the finger or whatever fleshy thing was in there, and put it away. And see if that does anything.
You put it back in the weight.
Yeah.
Okay. Put it in, and as you close like this little trap, almost little like opening in the weight itself, kind of snap shut. There's the sense Svan fully manifests.
Oh, Svan, I was so worried. What happened?
The threads were all... There were no threads.
Do we hear Svanhilda, or is she invisible?
She's visible.
We're not. You're not. At this point, it's up in the air whether this is hallucination in Torhilda's mind or not.
Okay.
So the way thing is, Torhilda hears this stuff, and with as I talk, this could be an actual thing going, or it could be what Torhilda is imagining is happening. She's never entirely sure.
Yeah, I don't.
I want to try something.
Uh-huh.
Torhilda, were you the one to pick up the weight?
Yes.
This won't take but a second, okay?
Okay.
And
What Svan says when it's closed,
Nala,
it's better.
I strongly, I recommend caution. The being whose flesh is in there is no good ever comes of them.
I'm just wondering if this thing is tied to Torhilda in some way, or if it is tied to the person who lifts it.
I don't know, but the thing inside the weight is causing Svan difficulty, and maybe that's its purpose.
That's why I want to see what happens if, for instance, I pick it up.
As everything is okay right now, I suggest we bury that thing as deep as possible and move on, but...
You're not curious.
At this, because I know Brynja has been over here, When you're there? Cool. Yes, you've reappeared. As this is going on and you're able to look, you've heard of tools like this. It took you a while to remember because you've never seen one. Usually, well, you've only heard about it as almost a symbol of station for archdruids. Those who have attained the very heights of their connection. And it is a way, like what you've heard is that it is a way of measuring balance. But one can continue as well. I just want to make sure. I think we'll still get his mic going.
It was just an idea.
You can still go ahead. I just want to make sure I was getting everything.
Well, if Brenya shares this information, I'd say, do you think this is something that you could use for your benefit? I would hate to waste a tool just because we don't fully understand it.
And is Swan okay as long as the weight is closed?
Yes, it seems like she's there as long as it is closed.
Okay. Yeah, as long as we don't open it.
It's definitely something we need to study and understand, and if we do, I hope that we will be far enough away where she won't be in any discomfort.
Yeah, no sound still there. Well, but we are going to go ahead. Let's go ahead and do our break, and we'll come back to this from there. Alrighty. Let's get going. Actually feeling better now, so let's do this. There we go. So, we're here looking currently. We have the piece of flesh contained safely within the weight. I know Nala was talking about opening up and trying to experiment with herself. And we were just investigating and discussing. So
I would just real quick like to put air quotes around safely.
True.
There ain't no safely when it comes to Cthulhu. I can only presume.
All right. What would you like to do?
Does anyone know why such an item would make it difficult for Spawn to come to me?
Well, the piece of flesh is from a different plane. I can only assume that Svanhilda, who has passed from this world, manifests a form of some sort here on this plane, while her actual being is on another, perhaps? Or something along those lines. That, or it is doing that, or is it's making a balance of some sort.
But why would it keep her from coming to me when she hasn't had any trouble doing so before?
I do not know exactly, just know that the beings that piece of flesh comes from are not ones you wish to deal with.
I think the best thing that we could do is try to take time and understand it when we have the chance. I just don't think that this time is now. I think we should investigate more into what type of people or beasts laid siege to a place like this. Does it seem like there's mostly humanoid tracks here? Are there animal tracks? Monster tracks? I'll work with the scouting team to I guess determine that, because I am not great at identifying animals.
Yeah, I mean, you can it'd be a survival check to determine tracks and such things.
So Brynja's good at that stuff, and she's part of the scouting team, so I'd ask her.
I'm not hearing anything, Brynja. Okay, Brynja says
Whoa.
And is suddenly better, yes?
Yeah.
Would you like me to help you with these tracks finding the expedition, yes?
Please.
Sure. I will look around. That's a 22.
Okay. Taking your time here, it is the tracks here seem to be a mixture of lupine and humanoid. And some with, you're able to find a few drag marks as well. People were dragged away.
How recently are the tracks? They're dragging away.
A few weeks.
Okay, weeks away. All right. I'll relay that to the rest of the crew.
So I guess we're not out of their territory yet.
They could have a wide range, yes.
Once you guys are done investigating, we should return to the villagers.
I agree. So, do we think we've, taking our time with, so Svan's help earlier and us, taking time to camp here, there's nothing else that we think is amiss in here. Nothing that, going inside of the lodges and anything like that. Is there any of the red fur anywhere? Stuff like that.
I mean, you haven't searched necessarily the actual cabins and those types of things.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I'd definitely like to take time to do that and get inside those. Really.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me an investigation check, Azariah.
I'll help him.
Yes, I will guide you.
Not the best roll, but dirty 20.
Okay. See inside the cabins. Besides blood, you can find a severed hand that looks like comes down to the wrist, and it looks like the pressure might have actually ripped it off.
Oh.
And there is an arm that meat has been taken off of with teeth and the bone left. Most of it off, but a bit of meat still clinging. Of notice, the doors to these seem to have been unlocked and not forcibly opened.
Meaning somebody inside opened the doors to this.
And that sort of thing where you see like there was bits of battle, it gives you the idea there's only like a few sword hits, and even then they seem like off kilter. And as you look, you can even see there's armor and other weapons that are on racks that maybe couldn't be gotten into in time.
How does a hunting party get hunted and not even get able to the chance to defend themselves?
Clearly from inside.
I wonder if they had people with no belly buttons in their camp.
Maybe.
Perhaps we found their previous group.
Sheep, perhaps?
I really wish I knew how to get a keen insight of the history of things. I may be able to do that with brains, but I really need to look into that. There's always so much magic to learn and so little time.
I guess there might be brains still left here. Or do they have to be fresh?
You said those tracks have been there for weeks, Brynja, right?
Some per weeks, yes. Not all. Some per weeks.
Yeah. Odds are I wouldn't be able to. I can't be older than a few days.
Judging by the size of the canines, or at least teeth, required to rip off the flesh from the bones. How big are these creatures?
I think they could be anywhere from 6 to 10 feet.
6 to 10 feet vertically. Okay.
Do we want to follow those drag marks, or would you rather us continue? People are waiting for us after all.
Do the drag marks head back towards the cave?
You're quite a distance.
Right. Seems way too far, right?
Yeah.
I wonder how many tribes of these there are. Maybe where they are.
Well, I would love to settle down somewhere, semi-permanent, so I could study this scale of sorts a while. But that means we need to continue, but I'm also not afraid of following those tracks.
We have a village to worry about first.
Very well, I agree.
Is there anything else to recover here that you think, anyone, do you see any tracks or artifacts or valuables to understand?
I think if everyone has checked out the cabins, then I think, and besides following the tracks, that's pretty much what we're going to get from here. Effectively, what I learned from the one cabin is pretty much like similar to the other cabins, I guess, right?
Yes.
Before I do leave, I want to maybe look with Brynja for any like loose planks or anything that like might be anything else might be hidden here. Besides what is obvious. And then if not, move on.
Got it. So, as you investigate here, looked on planks, again, most of these is just like a simple flooring that then goes almost to the outside.
Okay.
Though to the one you can see that there was a almost compartment, like look under the huts a little bit and you see how one has like thicker floors than another.
Mm.
And look into there, you can see this large overcoat that bears upon it small leathery wings, like hundreds that are thrown about it.
Hmm.
It almost looks like a big coat, and it is well maintained. And you can see like small runic markings on the edges.
I like see the coat and now put it on and come out and I'll like twirl around. Look at this thing. Isn't this something?
It is something, but what thing is it? It is not clear.
Oh, it
No.
quite becomes you.
It kind of clashes with my normal colors, but it sure does bring a little bit more mystique to myself, wouldn't you think? And I don't have it, I mean, to detect magic with it, but I will definitely study it later, and I'll just keep it on, and I'm like, I found a new coat. I found a new coat. Do these wings look familiar to you, Brenya?
Tor will sing back up. And you found a new coat. And you found a new.
I can dispel it if you like, but I cannot detect quite what it is just yet.
No, I just don't dispel it. I mean, what if it could be useful? I just want to know if you ever seen wings like this before.
I have on butterflies and similar little insects, but never on a coat. I'm not sure if it is part moth or mothball or if there is something else about it.
You've seen butterflies with leather wings?
No, I've seen 1,000 butterflies before.
Oh. Fair. Well, I guess on the way I could take a look at some of the runes and maybe I can learn something.
Yeah, possible.
I think
take you away, like the fairies talk about, into the forest and never be seen again.
Oh, that would be nice.
Okay.
I hear funny stories about fairies. They're quite mischievous.
They can be, yes. I'm not saying the coat is bad necessarily. I'm saying we don't trust it yet.
No, you're right. I should probably take it off and observe it while it's not on my person.
So funny you mentioned that. There are long stories from great years ago, many generations before us, of coats you could not take off, or pants, breeches. There's a word for that. The magical pants you could not remove, and they had very peculiar side effects, which you would not appreciate. But it is always possible that you put on some clothing that is not removable.
You know what? I have heard horror stories like that, but breeches you can't take off seems like a nightmare. How does one go pee?
Indeed, or more importantly, the cost and chafing. Never mind, I'll tell you later. It's a very awkward story.
I just couldn't imagine pissing yourself on purpose.
But given no choices, it might be your only option. Oh, never mind. Anyways, take the thing off and see if you can take it off, and if not, we'll have a different problem.
I'll take it off, and I shiver at the thought of having to pee myself on purpose, and I start looking over the runes while we walk back.
Amazing. All right. With the runic, give me a Arcana check, please.
Okay. I got a natural 24, 29.
Nice. I'm reading it very carefully. There is some runes of trapping in here. And it seems like what you can tell, at least from the runes itself, that for every bat wing you see attached, the spirit of a bat has been trapped within the cloak itself.
Ooh.
And see attached wings that are keeping it there. And so there's a good anywhere 40 to 50 wings on this thing.
Wow.
As the spirits are all trapped within.
Oh, well, that's quite peculiar. You ever heard of a coat that likes to store bats? Well, the essence of them, anyway. Because that's what this thing is.
Imagine the kind of person who would trap 50 bats into a coat. Would you like this person? Would he be your friend?
I don't know. I don't care. This person might be dead for all I know, and I don't make friends with dead people.
Some do. Funny enough, there are more legends, more stories. There's this one very crazy story I read about a long time ago, in my very, very earliest youth. But this crazy magic sorcerer man who gave up his hand and his eye for power. Crazy, crazy man. Made no sense at all. But imagine the artifacts that are possible when someone was willing to give up whole pieces of themselves for no reason other than to get more power. Batwings make little sense in that respect, but at the end of the day, imagine what some crazy half undead person will do with the artifacts you just stumble across. You could be possessed or worse, lose your soul.
Well, I guess we'll see after we examine it further. I mean, not everything that seems scary is always nefarious. I think look at me. People that typically study the magic of blood and its uses are not always seemed in a good light, but honestly, outside of combat and protecting myself, I wouldn't hurt a fly.
But that is my concern, as is you fundamentally don't see the darker side until it bites you.
And then I just hope that it doesn't bite me hard enough and I can hit back. But you're right, Brenya. I should be more cautious.
I don't know that you can. We'll see.
It's also the reason I typically don't go out and adventuring alone. I typically am curious enough to find the thing that rustles in the dark than just be scared and run away from it.
If the worst you find is a Batwing cloak, very good.
Well, I guess we'll see if anyone's got themselves in trouble while we are away. Walk up to Bormunder, who's usually leading and such, and I'm you'd look pretty good in a coat of bat wings. I think it would make your demeanor even more impressionable. You quite have the presence.
It does seem like a magnificent coat. I wonder if you can fly with those wings.
Oh, that would be something else now, would it, Bormunder? I've always loved the thought of flying. I secretly envy Brenya to be able to do it, but don't tell her that.
I think people just have unreasonable fears about bats.
I agree. I do need to sometimes pick up their poop for certain spells.
Well, I think bat poop maybe should be avoided.
Unfortunately, sometimes you can't get around the use of guano.
Do Do you have some with you now?
Maybe.
You don't smell like bat poop.
Oh, I don't smell like a lot of things. I'm also obsessed with essential oils. So I try to smell as good as I can. I'm very fond of using things like tobacco leaf oils and things like sandalwood.
Well, it's a marvelous coat. I wonder if the bats are alive and they're pulling, or if there's some sort of magic. I don't trust magic entirely.
The runes on it definitely seem like a trapping of some sort, and they are whatever. That's how they know they did, but these bats are trapped within the coat. What if you could call upon them like little familiars? That would be amazing.
That would be. I think a familiar would be quite useful.
I know. I wish I had the use of it when I was a kid, but now that I grow older, I find that it's quite necessary. But I think my time will come, just like most knowledge.
That makes sense. I'm thinking about summoning a horse.
Oh, can you do that?
I don't know. I haven't tried, but I feel like maybe I can.
Oh, that's the first step, Bormunda, believing in yourself.
I feel anxious. I think we need to move quickly toward the villagers. I don't like these wolves. I wish we had went to kill them.
Yeah, they surely ran pretty quickly, and we will surely need to get the jump on them next time.
I don't like trusting in things to go away. I think they always come back.
I agree. That wasn't the case though when my brother died. Whatever those beastie bear-like things that look like man bears, they never came back after they presumably took my father and brother and killed my mother in front of me. But I mean, what can you say?
That's because you put up a fight.
That is true.
That's terrible. I did not know that had happened to you.
Yeah. It was an ugly moment back in the place. It's not a pretty sight. Blood everywhere.
We are many steps away and years away from that. But it does make an impression on you.
I would be okay with you eating their brains.
Well, hopefully we're able to, and they don't disappear into just hairballs. I don't think I can learn much from eating hairballs.
Hair is close to the brain. Maybe a little bit of brain adheres to the hair.
He like rubs his bald head. He's like, yeah, for some. He's like rubs your head too. Well, I think the last one there needs to make dinner tonight, and he starts running.
I share your sense of urgency and make our best haste back to the trail where we left our companions.
I was really racing for real. Whoever wanted to race, I rolled a 4.
All right. Anyone want to roll for race?
I am. Yeah, I have no. I rolled a 1, so I
Nice.
evidently fell.
Oh,
You know what they say, you just gotta be faster than the slowest one.
that's right. 11 for me.
11. Oh, Torhilda's going good.
Dorhilda sees them start running and she like, oh no you don't, and starts running.
She doesn't like to lose, I can tell you that.
All right. Anyone else racing? All right.
Boo.
And yeah, going back, Torhilda is the winner. First one back.
Nice.
Bromund are getting caught with cooking. And you can see as you arrive, your worries are abated. You breathe for a moment, seeing that everything for the time being is okay. The guards are out. People sticking in at least 2s, if not 3s, ever watchful surrounding wilderness. Several small posts have been brought up to see out, trying to get high ground in this very rocky terrain. It's unfortunate you can see that they're also very exposed in a sense. Anyone from a long way away could see all of you here. You stick out among the vast rock and greenery. But safe. You ready to proceed?
I think so. I would just check in with the scouts and make sure there's no new news from the couple or nothing untoward has taken place.
They report that they eventually stopped following. They've decided to, unless you want them to, that they're so far enough away, at least a day.
No, absolutely not. I'm satisfied if they've come back to rejoin us. That's good.
Yeah. All right. In that case, you need to pack up. And travel again. Any in particular things you travel this next time?
I think what I would do is probably sit in one of the arts and try to like meditate over what this the capabilities of this coat.
Yeah, so the only way you can really do that is to attune.
I guess I will do it.
Okay.
I don't have to. I
For all the conversations. Back and forth. You're gonna attune. Okay, cool.
I had a friend who could tell all about something with sort of a 10-minute meditation.
I don't have that, unfortunately. I like to take my time with things. I like to usually take more than 10 minutes to really get to know something.
Like donkeys or strippers or what?
I don't. Well, I did have a donkey on the farm. He was very nice. He definitely helped in the field. I knew him more than 10 minutes, but I don't really know what strippers are.
People who take the tops of wood off.
Oh, I don't think I know any of those. Yes, I guess I'll do this questionable activity.
If I wasn't -1, I'd do an insight check.
Just because you're -1 doesn't mean you can't do it anyway.
I mean, could feel so bad you win, maybe? Question mark?
I mean, having your character make rolls when you have negatives to stuff is great. Which is why when I had a guy with negative perception, I always had him volunteer to be on watch duty. It was hilarious.
A flock of turtles.
Pretty much, yeah.
I undersold it too. I'm only +0. I'm actually quite good at it.
See, there you go. Flat roll.
All right. So after you spend your time in it, you put it on and you can see in a small bowl of water as you feel pain and shrinking as you turn into a bat. After a few minutes, not wanting to be a bat, you allow yourself to stretch and come back.
They would do the car. They heard like a beep, 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 like a little squeaky sound and such, and like, oh, that was uncomfortable. Ugh.
Bernie looks down with a disapproving glare and says,
But as you come back, you find that the cloak is a little bit attached to your skin.
Oh.
And just give you a bit warm, but I gave the properties and loot for you.
Okay. All right, interesting. Well, I think I can do some flying now. In certain circumstances. And Brynja, we could fly together. I can turn into a bat, even though it's not as comfortable as I would like.
that sounds delightful. I would like to fly with you, but you will be clumsy and I will be not. So you should try to keep up.
I can produce my own guano now.
There are very few medicinal uses for guano, one of which is a strange healing potion. The other is for explode. We explode. Never mind. I would like to see you try to fly the first time. It would be very entertaining.
I have a feeling that I could really only do it when it's dark or dim out.
Okay. Yeah. You said before you want to be some other form of creature. If you're that interested in trying it on, I will help you try it on. Want to be deer, want to be a rabbit, want to be snake, just tell me.
Honestly, I think I'm kind of down with that.
Would you like to be unicorn? People would hunt you, it'd be strange.
I'm sure we'll get plenty of uses out of it.
Personal preference, by the way. If you ever decide to become a wolf, they are very aggressive in some respects. Very eager.
Do things taste better when you're an animal?
But the things that the animal eats, yes, very much. Yes. When you are turtle, flowers taste magnificent.
Oh, duly noted. Turtles do taste delicious themselves.
Yeah, do not eat terpen, no. Unless you're a shark, and then it's fine. Anyways, one day you decide to become animal, I will help you. Not bad.
I had to let Sugar out of the room. She was killing me.
Sugar is your cat or your
Yes. My
Okay.
the cat.
There we go.
My girlfriend has opposable thumbs.
Some cats do too.
Well, it is kind of funky, and it's just definitely gonna take some time getting used to. I think I'm gonna have to wear it on myself when I go to bed.
I feel for the cat.
Well, how far do you think we are from our destination? I never was really too good at maps.
As I've been trying to map stuff out, could I try to answer that question?
Certainly. But you have a general idea. I mean, I feel like you've got into your 2 days of travel. It might be into 3. You're a little bit off because of the just the way you've broken it up.
Stop. Yeah.
But you're kind of in 2 or 3 days. You might have anywhere from 4 to 5 days left.
Is there any evidence so far of pursuit or anything in the range that seems out of place?
Yeah, as you if everyone's had their chance to do any type of these traveling conversations, the way before you becomes increasingly steep. The rocks wetter. Brynja, clouds have become like a natural dark gray. An odd sense of where it seems like there's light, but hardly any light seems to really touch the clouds. Almost as if the ambient light around shines upon it instead of the light moving through them to light everywhere else.
Like the cliffs of the Deadlands that we crossed through, where I made the bargain with the old crone. Like, is it that kind of like unnatural cloudiness or unnatural territory?
It has like a lot of that. Yeah, it feels similar. But the ground doesn't. Like, ground feels so in the material. It's just the clouds seem off.
But I don't feel like her influence here. It's something else.
Yeah, it's something similar. Yeah, like you're right in that comparison.
Hmm.
And you would draw those parallels.
Let's stop for a hot minute. Put down her staff and yell out into the clouds. Would you like to talk to us? Would you like to confront us? Or should we just keep marching?
You shout out that. Give me a persuasion check.
Definitely not my strong suit, but let's try it. Because fucking Trapon. Boom. It's a hot. Come on, dice. You're dicey. Oh, fuck. 7. Well, nope.
There seems to be no response, though. The clouds do churn just a bit.
No, like you have had previous success talking to horse god creature. Would you mind maybe asking whatever effect is happening around this unnatural thing? You can feel this out, or perhaps you can feel this. To at least join us and have tea, perhaps, or conversation. I am tired of supernatural coming from nowhere and having no excuse for ambushing.
not knowing anything about the circumstances.
Do you feel some natural awareness? Do you understand that this cloud formation is not natural? It's maybe this is the root thing. That is not how winds form. That's not how clouds form. This is all not right.
Okay. So Nala, we'll think and then say, those who wield power here we are passers through. We seek knowledge. Nothing more.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, okay. I'll use one of my advantages. 27.
Call out. And there is a slew, like a burst of wind, and on it syllables of some language push against all of your ears. What languages does Nala know?
She knows Common, Draconic, and Giant.
Does not fall under any of those. Does anyone else know something more than that?
Deep speech and primordial.
Abyssal, Celestial, Infernal.
Druidic, Elvish, Sylvan. And again, telepathy.
Okay. In that case, Azariah, you recognize this as deep speech. And it simply speaks it is best to go before I awaken. I am coming.
Does anybody else hear that? That was quite unsettling. It's
No.
not every day that you hear the language of the far realm. I'm starting to think that piece of flesh we have is only the beginning of the madness we just stumbled upon. What you heard, I was able to tell. It's deep speech, and something is warning us, saying that it's better for us to go back before it awakes. And it's almost here.
Well,
And I think I'm going to pee my pants on purpose.
knowledge was asked, knowledge was gained.
Isn't that... You were talking about otherworldly beasties, Layla. I'm very sure that's the language they use.
It was always just gibberish to me.
Yes, gibberish of madness and horror.
I'm quite glad I don't understand it then.
Do you speak gibber or no?
No, I think she said that she kind of understands gibberish. I think it might be an offset, but I don't know.
Are we leaving?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of scared, but that's never stopped me from doing anything stupid before.
I think when a cloud talks to you in some long dead language that and tells you to get away, it's probably a good idea to get away.
I would agree.
What do I do?
Do we go around and take the long way?
Yes, if they told us. What did they say specifically for going?
Well, it said to go back, leave this place.
Back.
We, before I wake, or something like that. And then at the end, it was like it was coming.
Yeah, it never said go back.
Oh, it said leave this place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, leave this place.
Okay. So we head back to the camp and we make our way out.
Yeah. Well, at this point, your whole crew's with you.
Right.
There's no camp. You're walking with. You're traveling. The travel.
We would have to completely reroute if we just didn't decide to go this way. It would probably add a few days, but this is surely a very shaking experience.
All right.
What place do we think it wants us to be away from? Does anyone know?
Azariah?
I'm guessing this part of the forest. Does this part of the forest seem different than any like?
So, to be clear here, this is the rocky areas that are varying levels and covered with moss and such.
Okay.
The other thing is, it seems like these clouds, like a storm, are almost coming and overshadowing parts of the area. So you're depending on what you want to be going. It's hard to totally tell.
Right.
You can see a bit of a ways away that there is a cave opening within the flat rock, and the rock itself grows high, not quite mountainous, but it's hard to see any other ways forward.
So we either go through the creepy cave or we try to find a way around the creepy cave.
I think that's pretty much it.
All right.
I could try my new ability and go a little bit forward as a cute little air rat.
Well, we don't have a lot of time, so I think this thing's going to be here, right? So let's just make a decision. Otherwise, we're going to be fighting soon.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Person Man, but... And then I start speaking in deep speech. I don't think we can go back. We don't mean you no harm. We just need passage. I don't know. Maybe we can convince someone to worship you or something. Look at me. I'm a bat, and I polymorph into a bat.
Look at me, I'm a bat.
None of us know what you said, by the way.
Azariah, you hear again in deep speech. Maybe I'll come with you. Give me a wisdom save.
All right. Good thing I keep all my stats in this with this cloak.
Even though I think it might have been wiser to be, but how wise is a bat? Not that wise. All right. Good job. Good job, me. All right, wisdom save. Okay. Is this a magical effect?
Yeah.
Okay, I get advantage. Oh, 23.
Okay. You hear the words trying to slither into your ears. It's an odd whisper that vibrates and feels like it's crawling past your eardrum and traveling. But you are somewhat practiced, especially in concentration, as you're able to steer your mind, focus on your rote memorization of your cantrips. And soon it passes, as if it was never there.
I do feel like squeak, like yeek, yeek, and I'm just like unsettlingly like flapping hard. I'm like flapping around, Brynja. Kind of like, oh, that's kind of weird. See here. In this form, in my huge, beautiful, cute bat ears, do I hear anything in the background besides like this voice that's invading my mind? Do I hear any like creatures that might be stalking us?
Give me a perception check.
All right, I'll use my keen hearing ability. Ooh, look at me. Ooh, look at me. I can hear. Perception. That is only a +2, a 14.
You don't get any sense of any creatures being. So we headed towards the cave.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Oh.
All right. So you're coming to the end of another travel here as you're coming in, and the cave you see stretches far back beyond your sight. Curves. You can see some evidence, some bits of broken spear or arrow, and vague remnants of a fire that's been traveled through before. As the winds blow outside and get more intense.
Do I feel anything in the presence while at the mouth of the cave within 60 feet of me with blind sight?
Okay. A lot of tasty insects.
Yum. Oh my gosh. I'm going to do it. Brenya said things taste really good when you're an animal. I'm going to eat an insect.
Flying up. And you begin eating the insects. And as you get deeper, you can see around the corner there is this luminescence. As there is this fungus that grows on the walls that is bright. Almost like lichen. And mushrooms, equally bright, seem to be growing from decayed material. Given this dim light that continues about 30 feet before you see it opens into a vast internal cavern.
After seeing that, I'll flutter back and start getting closer to the ground as I drop the polymorph form and say,
That was delicious, Brenya. You're totally right. I ate this insect as a bat, and it was great. But over there, there was mushrooms and moss that seemed to glow in a luminescent from the decay. It was seemingly taken over. I've never seen things like that before. At least that I remember.
Did anything follow you?
No, I mean, I didn't sense anything within 60 feet of me while I was coming back. But there might be something. Did I blindsight anything when I got close there either? 6 feet? There was like just the mushrooms and stuff was kind of
Yeah, I mean, there's wildlife, but nothing.
Right, but nothing. Okay. It just seemed like your regular cave dwelling beasties, rats and bats and other things. But
right, when you are animal, there is always predator and prey, so you must be aware.
Yes, but there was no monsters or anything.
When you ate the bugs, did you eat their brains? Did you learn things from them?
I didn't really think about casting the spell. Do bugs even have brains that are adequate for that?
Some few, not many. Bermuda, when you feel like bat, you instinct like bat. You don't think like I should taste brains and understand their meaning. It's more primordial, perhaps natural.
Well, that's the thing, Brenya. When I did turn into bat, I had all of my thoughts. I was thinking about spells, and I mean, I instantly had a thought about remembering how you told me how good insects taste. I think this cloak allows me to keep my intellect while I'm a bat. It's
perhaps
kind
a
of cool.
different spell. Normally, when I am wolf, I am only interested in two things, and one of which is wolves.
Fair enough. I don't think I could cast the spell in that form, but it truly was fun. Should we move quietly and in the darkness? I think there's definitely going to be something in there. Maybe even the moss itself. And is there still similar moss like outside the cave or like near the mouth, or is it more so deep within?
More so as you get in is this glowing moss, and like I said, the inside cavern almost looks like an enormous mushroom garden. There's several stone pathways that are suspended in air like bridges that connect to what seem to be natural pillars that one has to then kind of like almost hug to get to another stone bridge. It does look like treacherous for you in your camp, but not impossible to traverse.
Do these look natural or evolved or grown?
Give me a survival check.
You got it. Boop. Yes, please. Nat 20 plus 5 is 25.
Hey!
The feeling you get is they do seem like to an extent they've propagated themselves, but it is, especially to your sight, what's wild and what's not. There is a cultivation here. Even like some of the shapes and sizes aren't necessarily in rows or grouped, but they do seem like they've been separated or arranged. It's almost too beautiful in a produced way to be natural.
I'll explain slowly to the rest of the group. There is a species of fungus, mushroom, and the word is difficult. They typically live on the ground. They are capable of thought and sentience and capability of fighting, called like myconids. Myconids. There is a species rumored or reported in various parts of the world that are mushrooms, cultivate, they build, they make bridges, they make all kinds of crazy things. This seems more like an organized growth of spore than perhaps natural. Be aware, just be concerned that there may be some species here that is more intelligent or organized than just mushroom.
With that check as well, you are able to determine that a few of these varieties are edible and have what you would know as natural magic to them.
What does that look like? Like what kinds of spells or abilities?
You've heard of magic mushrooms that can change one's size. Others that can make one feel connected with all the plants of the earth. There's even some that are rumored to stop time. And then you recognize this whole place as an area of intense natural energy.
Are we gonna move forward, Brenya? I mean, those things are quite pretty.
The legends say one mushroom makes you larger, one mushroom makes you small, and the ones that mother give you don't do anything at all. I don't know yet. There's many questions about whether or not these could conceivably be the same sort of mushrooms that alter your perception. I would advise caution at least.
Why don't you point out some of those and I'll grab them with my hand? Not the one attached to my body.
Yes, we should explore very carefully, please. If you all get loopy and crazy and wander in circles and lose yourselves in the mushroom patch, it will be a very long night.
Torhilda, you hold out your pack and I'll start taking the mage hand, getting directed by Brenya and picking up some of the magic mushrooms.
Sure, I'll put them in a separate sack. And are there any that I could use with my herbalism kit to make things with?
Indeed. Can go ahead and give me a wisdom check with herbalism, please.
Wisdom plus my proficiency?
Yes.
Yeah, if you got a kid, you're proficient.
Alright. It's not working for me. Let me get some real dice here. Alright. 14 minus 1, 13 plus 4, 17.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I can make all kinds of stuff.
She thinks to herself.
Yep. Yeah, so there's great ingredients. I think with the herbalism kit, you can definitely gather here. According to like toolcraft and such things.
All right, I will do that along with Azariah and use several of my sacks and baskets and separate the different kinds of mushrooms that they're all pointing out.
Nice. So with that check then, I will say is trying to like kind of get through. Again, you find like a lot of edible ones, some that will be useful, which basically means they can take the place of a lot of the ingredients you have for the toolcraft. But in addition, you find a particular one that as you take your tools and look at your books, You can harvest a bit of it. Seems in a perfect ripeness that seems connected to almost the consciousness of the world. From the testing. As you even take it, you feel almost connected to your party members, almost like you can hear their thoughts. It's more like whispers, but this allows someone who would eat it, and now you harvest it. You think it's good for about 4 days, but once eaten, the creature can understand and speak all languages for a period of time.
Nice.
Ooh, this one's a special one. We'll put this one in a special sack.
As you take that and you cut there, within this crop of mushrooms, another one rises quickly and turns, and you see almost 2 fungal eyes stare at you.
Oh, hello. Pardon me.
It jumps back 3 feet.
Oh, my name's Torhilda. What's your name?
Cox said. Doesn't seem to answer.
That's not saying anything at all.
Does not say anything here. So it just kind of looks, and as you're kind of talking, it kind of reaches in and, like, with what looks like hardened, almost bark-like things at the end of its fungal, fleshy little fingers. It almost like carves a mouth, and it starts to move it, like mimicking yours, like not making any language.
A mushroom muppet. I like pantomime, some talking. Mana, mana.
So, Brynja will also say in Druidic, "Do you speak this?"
Sort of looks, doesn't seem to understand.
Maybe we're supposed to eat one of the mushrooms to talk to it.
I don't think you want to do that in front of him. He might get scared.
Oh yeah, that might not be a good idea. You're right.
I usually don't try to make friends by eating similar friends.
Yeah, and he doesn't seem to be speaking a language, right? Does he talk in people's heads? Brynja, does he talk in your head?
Let's try the other way. And I'll try to speak into its head and say, "Would you like to communicate?"
It kind of looks at you, like eyes wide, as if they understand.
Ah, okay. Is something wrong? Up, down is yes, and left, right is no.
And kind of points at all of you.
Are we not supposed to be here? Up, down is yes, left, right is no.
Seems confused, like doesn't know.
Mm.
Those options might be too simple, as it will point to this mouth that's carved,
Mm-hmm.
and then at all of you and kind of gesture its hands.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to eat us? No. Are we going to be eaten?
Slowly shakes its head. And gets right next to Tarhilda and then gestures for people to come near it.
It wants us to come near, which I don't understand. Actually, let me look underneath, make sure there's not like a huge fucking plant mouth underneath us just to swallow us up.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Yep. Because this could just be the stamen and the bulbs underneath. That's how plants are structured. Perception check. Boop. That's terrible. It's a 12.
It looks all clear.
Oh, it looks all clear. Okay. Cuddle up, guys. Photo time.
Yeah, I'll come forward.
I'm gonna, practicing with this cloak, and we're in dim light. I'm gonna start and just grab it on both sides, trying to, and I lift off and I start flying.
How dark is in this place? Is it pretty well lit or no?
It's dim lit.
It's dim with the natural light of the glowing fungi.
All right. I have difficulty seeing. I'm going to snap a little bit of fire in my hands. Just look around more.
Get a little too close to Issylra and they fall down.
Move away! Move away!
It's too bright for the cloak to work.
So what does the plant want us to have to do?
So you get close. Does anyone else get close?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
in.
I do.
Yeah, I'll
Oh
get
yeah.
close.
Oh yeah.
I know Toto did. Bermuda did.
He looks cute, right?
What about Nala?
Said he had big big eyes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Big eye smile is always good, right? Ella hasn't decided yet.
Yeah. Is Nala going to get close, or is she staying far back?
Sure.
Close then. All right. And it kind of sort of nods, and these spores sprout out from it.
Nope.
Around. You hear in your mind, can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes, we can.
Yes. That's a neat trick. How did you do that?
Do you say it out loud?
Absolutely.
Looks like it can't understand you.
Oh, I try how Brynja does. And I squeeze my eyes shut and I think it.
Yeah.
I try to think it.
So I imagine you do this,
At
and
the same time.
all of you hear Torhilroy yelling, like, "Are you okay?" Like ringing in your minds.
I think you need to
kinda
turn the
hold
mental
ring.
volume down.
Sorry.
What is your name?
Are you thinking it?
Yep.
I am Fifth Sprout.
What is this place?
It's the cave, our home.
How long have you been here?
I was grown here.
Are there any others?
Oh yes, there's plenty. I'm in charge of tending this section. It's an important job.
Yes, you're doing very well. Can you tell us about these mushrooms?
Oh, yes. So that's they are there to keep things balanced.
Balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Are they able to balance someone who's unbalanced?
No. They kind of think as if having to have thought this aloud several times. Deep below, the storm churns. its winds wishing to shatter the flow and balance of the world. We grow to capture that and keep it within our cavern.
Sitting on his butt after Brynja was too close in doing their light and he wasn't far enough, he thinks in his mind, do you need help keeping it balanced? We're all here for balance.
Do you have telepathy?
No, I mean, was I close enough? Because I fell on the ground.
Did you intend to be?
Yeah, because I was
Okay.
flying up.
Then yeah,
And
then,
what-
and
what-
then, yeah,
what I-
okay. So
yeah.
so then sure. Yeah, as long as your intention was, I don't care about the
Yeah, my whole thing was to fly up because I was going to fly up on
Yeah.
the thing, and then 20 feet was the light. So,
yeah. So sorry, what was your question?
Yeah. Do you need help in keeping it all balanced? We're willing to go down there and help you sort out what you need help with.
I don't know. I mean, you could talk to the sovereign.
Sure. I don't know who that is, but sure. I mean, did they ever tell you, Fifth Sprout, that you're the cutest Sprout?
and with my mage hand still out, I like tickle it.
Do you have toys?
That's a good question. I might have something for you. Can you read? I got something. I have an extra pen here, and I have an extra sheet of paper, and you can draw stuff.
Ooh, seems to really enjoy that.
Fifth Sprout, when was the last time you spoke to someone who was a visitor?
Mm. I spoke to some people 2 weeks ago. They got scared, they ran, then they fell because they were running way too fast. And now they work below.
They work below.
Wow.
I think they died.
They don't have the mind anymore, but their bodies do work.
I see.
Are they a part of the community now?
Mm. For now. They never last too long, though.
Understood. If we come here with good intentions to help your sovereign and keep everything balanced, will we be allowed safe passage down?
Well, I'd have to, if you'd have to tell them about you and ask if you can come low. Those who adore the sun may travel through, but below is for us dark ones.
Well, isn't the dark ones and the ones who favor light coming together? Isn't that the meaning of equilibrium?
Well, that makes sense. I still have to ask, though.
You can definitely ask. We are all about consent here.
You want to come down? Usually people run, they don't want to come down.
Well, if there's something that you think is disturbing the natural order of things, and it will cause destruction outside of here, I think we are all willing to help. But I only speak for myself.
Now, you do have your whole village here, so you have to decide how you want to Just as a flavor note, that they have all traveled and are moving around with you. I mean, if you want me to, I mean, ask one of the adults first, but then they can ask. I can see.
Well, yes. I mean, only some of us would come. Maybe you people could stay at the mouth of the cave, and maybe you could show them some of your cool drawings that you end up making.
Could you tell me about balance?
Oh. Every I don't know all the balance yet, but some of it, the world desires its balance. But those who draw within seek to wreck it.
These mushrooms are used for balance. And how do you know which one balances the other?
Well, the winds below come out for imbalance. We capture them with the mushrooms. They grow and they feed off of it, so only a little gets out of our cave. Though it's been getting stronger lately. It's been a hard time keeping enough going to capture all of it.
Okay.
But because of that, they can do cool things.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Such as?
Eyes get really big. And they go over to one and they kind of tap it. And they grow to 30 feet. They think, see? Isn't it cool?
That is really cool, actually.
Mm-hmm. Oh, watch this one. As they tap it and they turn pink and white polka dot. Mm-hmm. There's some we don't know yet, but some we figured out. Well, I figured out. I let them know. But it is a lot of fun. I'm the only sprout for this section, though.
Mm.
But you can get. I could help you go through.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
So, did you want to see the other ones below, or do you want to go through?
As I start talking out loud to everyone, you guys, it seems like there's obviously something going on down there, and that fucking mushroom is really cute. I would hate to see something happen to it. I mean, look at, he's drawing already. Where does he even get hands?
I don't remember you showing that much interest when I was a child, but...
Well, I mean, it's kind of because you pushed me off and I was trying to help you, but understandably so. You needed your time and I gave it to you.
So we've got the people with us. That's kind of the hiccup.
Well, do we think we can trust Fifth Sprout to I don't know, watch over the people? I mean, I know it's a mushroom, but you know.
I think they're going to take us down there.
Well, I mean, he asked if we wanted to go down or go through. We can rightfully go through and forget about what's happening here, but it would always be on the back of my mind. I don't want to be the only voice here. Let's not all speak at once.
I think the idea of dragging the people through the mushroom mines is a terrible choice.
I'm not saying they have to go down with us, but you're right. It would be hard to keep an eye on them, I suppose, but I guess by now, if we're not used to tracking them through danger, I mean, it seems to be part of the gig.
The kid did seem very anxious about us going down. Like, it seemed crazy to it, and I worry that maybe we should listen to that.
Well, they did mention the people down there didn't have brains.
I think it's because they ran and they died. And usually, you know, life and death and mushrooms eat and decay deaths. So
Well, I think we'd be in good company then.
I remember saying I don't make friends of dead things, but I think I'll make an exception here.
You literally eat dead things. You are probably a mushroom.
That is right.
I don't have that much brain to lose, so it's less risky for me.
Dragon skin, you are incorrect. You have plenty of brain to lose. You just don't see it yet.
I am curious about this balance.
And the wind, the strong wind, you're not interested to see what is causing such a thing. And since when could mushrooms eat wind?
What?
That's what they
Mushrooms
said.
use wind to distribute spores, and spores are procreation. Mushrooms, and they're very traditional. They are just ways of spitting your sperm across the planet.
I was saying that I was fine with us going down. It might give us some answers.
I agree, but did you just say that fifth sprout just ejaculated on me?
Yeah, hang on. I'm understanding the words from Nala about going down. Hang on. Yes. The basic idea is that you ejaculate. It means, what's the word? Evoke, excommunicate. No, there's a word here.
Excrete.
Excrete, yes, there we go. That's you let go of all of your particulates that make you germinate the planet, perhaps, or some sad pillowcase, whatever the case is. But you release your seed into various places.
Okay, this is fascinating. Shall we move forward or move down?
I vote move down. Did you know that ferns have spores? I never knew that. That was crazy when I first learned.
The little things underneath their wings, the edges of the fern.
You see what you started.
All right. So is anyone a character wanting a voice to not move down but to move on?
Can we send the villagers through and we'll catch up with them while we go down?
That is good thinking there, Hilda. Maybe they
Or-
can.
Or send an escort along with them.
Yeah, maybe I could task this sprout to direct them to maybe other sprouts that have different direction, and each time if they get through the cave unscathed, I'll give it a piece of paper.
Like a sticky note?
Something to draw on. He seems quite bored. The last time he talked to someone was 2 weeks ago, and they fell and died.
Okay. So you want to send the party forward with possibly some escorts, and then see if you can't get closer down below.
I think so.
Very cool. All right. In that case, we're going to end for tonight, and we'll come back to this next week.
Woo!
We're gonna die.